Hi, I'm Nathan Oakley, and this is video log number 43. I just became a subscriber to Daniel Pratt after it being highlighted to me that he actually makes YouTube videos, although he's commented on many of my videos and been very complimentary in the process. Now, one of his videos was about Santa, and everyone's entitled to their opinion, and frankly, most people disagree with me on the whole Santa Claus thing, as I don't think we should lie to kids about these things. I think on the whole kids are a lot smarter than people give them credit for, not to mention the fact that they're information sponges. They take in so much information, so sort of deceiving them at that early age only to let them down kind of is a key or a recipe to have them deep down have some sort of to despise you because you lied to them. Now, other flat earthers have said in video logs like my own that they had a feeling that their parents had lied to them about NASA and about the shape of the Earth, in spite of the fact that it's a generational lie and people aren't lying, they're perpetuating a lie, they're speaking a mistruth, if you will, rather than actually deliberately lying. And that is also very true of a lot of sort of regular folk who will talk about science. People will often say, oh, well, this guy is in on it. Brian Cox comes up a lot. And you think, well, maybe not necessarily. He might just be the same as most people. And the reason we're programmed to fight or, have a situation where cognitive dissonance rules our life is because we have had this programming from such an early age. So thinking along the lines of Santa Claus and children's movies, we watched Planes, my wife and I, and there were several noteworthy things in it. There's a few Duper's Delight examples. For instance, throughout the entire Wings Around the Globe challenge, Dusty is on a flat plane, so there's always an eye-level horizon. Whenever they cut to a wide shot of him flying a vast distance, it's on a perfectly flat, level plane. But the obvious ones aside, you have a sort of cheeky Anglo-American humour where Dusty saves the main British character, Bulldog's life, and yet in return, when all the other nations, the other characters played by the planes, give Dusty the wreck, wings and, great big tail rudders and propellers, the British person or the British plane that's had his life saved by this character gives him a GPS, like a cheap $100 GPS system, as a thank you for saving his life. So yeah, a few nice little Duper's Delight examples. But the main one I wanted to highlight was one that I'm sure there's a better example than this, but the only one that sprung to mind in a psychopathic context was where several commenters or YouTubers, on the subject of psychopath point out that psychopaths use something called love bombing, where if we have a female psychopath, they'll shower their partner with affection and love and gifts and make them feel really 100% special, and only to take it away from them. And it's kind of like starving a drug addict of their drug, so that they pine for it. And that's kind of how psychopaths do it. And at this point you're probably thinking, how does this connect to such a wonderful movie as Planes? Well, in the movie Planes, early on we have this character who is the mentor of the lead character, Dusty Crop Hopper, and he's mentoring him how to go faster in order to win the Wings Around the Globe challenge. And there's a scene where we have a montage of Dusty getting faster and faster, with this character on the radio to him, telling him how to push the envelope. And while he's telling him this, and you've got the orchestral music building up, you hear him saying things like, use your lateral G, trade altitude for airspeed, gravity is your friend. And while he's saying these things, you're actually experiencing a chemical release. The way to sort of describe it in a physiological terms is to say that you'd get goosebumps. But there's also a scene where this character is pointing up at the moon, looking like he's going to take off for the moon, only for him to shut down his engines and kind of shy away from taking off for the moon. It's a really sort of bizarre scene, considering that he's never actually ever going to fly anywhere. He's going to be taken on a freight plane to Mexico to meet the other character. So it's a really odd scene, but as you can probably see, he's pointing up at the moon, looking like he's going to take off for the moon. The scene even starts with a giant moon sort of panning down from it, only for the sort of wartime character to not go. It's bizarre. Anyway, read into that little nugget what you will. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you in the next video.